Every coach wants to help.
But some can't resist playing hero, and that's where it all goes wrong. Coaches, do you secretly want to be the hero in your sessions? I know it's tempting. We want our clients to walk away with thinking we saved the day. But here's the truth. When you try to fix, solve, or rescue, you're actually wrecking the coaching process. Today, we're calling out hero complex.
Hey everyone, this is Monselete.
And this is Dan, Captain America coach.
And we are coming to you from MCXI Institute. And today we are talking about the number two bad habit, and that is the hero complex. And Dan, I know it's hard even for really seasoned coaches who want to say they don't struggle with this, but I do think it really, the fixer, the rescuer, the solver, it really, those versions of ourselves live inside of us, right?
They do, because we come into this field because we're called to help other people and to be of service. And it's really easy for that to turn into a bit of a savior complex of we have all the answers, and it puts us on some kind of a pedestal of look at me, I helped.
Yeah. So, what does it look like in coaching? Because I do hear coaching, people talk to me about coaching and they're saying, oh, my coach gave me advice, my coach gave me suggestions. But when we talk about what does it ideally look like in an ICF session of coaching, tell me what you think that that looks like.
And I'm going to stretch this even beyond ICF because there are definitely places in the core competencies where this would be a violation of the core competencies. And let's take this even bigger in this moment as the field of coaching, which is even bigger than the ICF, and
Yeah.
the distinction between coaching and therapy and other models. In the coaching model, if we are very pure on what coaching means, it is that we are awakening our clients to their inner well of resources, and anything that we do that robs them of their autonomy in the session or in their life is not serving them. So if we come in from being the fixer, the rescuer, the knight in shining armor coming in to save the day,
The Captain America.
the Captain America, any superhero really, we are putting ourselves in a position above the client, above equal. We become the expert in some way that I have this piece of information that I'm bringing down from on high to share with you, and here's your tablet of 10 things to solve your life and live principles by. We're not helping the client to awaken to their process
Yeah.
and
And
their
so it does.
truth.
Right, right. So these are the things that happen when we do it, right? We sort of we steal the autonomy of the client. We probably maybe still trust in the client, but how it shows up, as you said, not just in coaching overall, is we're giving advice, we're creating what we think we know is what they should do. And again, it's not that you can't suggest something in coaching. We've also made suggestions. It's just being attached to it. Coming in as a coach and saying, I know what you need. You're a broken person and I'm going to fix you and I'm going to help you and I'm going to make you better. That really creates a lot of the problems, which is why we really find that this is a very bad habit for all of us. What do you think's going on? Like, what do you think is going on underneath this? Because I think we all have this issue. We all want to fix. There are certain people who are fixers and problem solvers, and those are usually the people that morph to coaching. What do you think is going on underneath that? Aside from it being a bad habit, maybe it's subconscious, maybe it's ego driven. I kind of think we are constantly as a coach having to prove ourselves. And so if we bring saving and information and suggestions, we are creating value. And I think sometimes that is the first thing that comes to mind for me, that it may come up because we feel as a coach, I've got to have value. And the only way I can have value is to share my opinion and to share my advice.
And that definitely comes from an ego state that our advice is suddenly our identity, and we put our value into the ability that we can provide in giving advice and direction. rather than just being. And there is an element of truth to every human on the planet is in some way or another proving themselves along the way every day in life. But as we think about being coaches and our service to clients is our true service and our more powerful service in helping them reawaken. But why do we come back to this ego mind that I've got the answer for their life? I can see the problem. If they just did this thing, it would all be, everything would be great. That that's this, it's a superiority complex. Or, oh, it could go two ways. It could either come from a superiority complex or come from such a lack of self-confidence that they're putting their value in ideas to share rather than being the whole human being that
Ooh,
my holding space is my true value to somebody for them to awaken into.
wow, I really like that a lot. I really like that. And, or it could just be a bad habit because we know that it is a habit.
And at the same time, habits are generated by beliefs.
hmm
What's the belief generating the habit to that repetition?
Or, or what's been taught, which becomes a belief, what you grew up with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I always want to say that a good question is always going to land deeper than a clever solution. And on that note, what is the alternative? What does it look like to show up with the curiosity and the trust? What is the alternative? A couple of things we could suggest.
The first one is recognizing that as much as we are in these fields to provide help and be of service, that our advice comes from a limited container. And I used to say this a lot, and I sit here today to say it again. As we are recording this, I am super close to my 60th birthday, a handful of months away. And in that lifetime so far, I've done a lot of fun things. I have not done everything. There are things in the world that even by the time my expiration date comes, I will not have done. And my clients have done lots of things in their lives, including things that I have not done. So for me to have the hubris to think that in my limited experience in 60 years, nearly 60 years on this planet, that I have the answer is almost narcissistic. To offer that I might have a possible perspective is different. And that's where that detachment comes in. I'm not attached to it being the singular thing. It's just here we are in this co-creative space of coaching, and what is the wisdom of the two brains in the room? Here's a perspective. Doesn't mean they have to take it on or do it. We're just continuing to add color and space to the room. And it reminds me of a few years ago was reconnecting with a past client who had been through some really heavy stuff in the years that we had been not working together, was aware of the progression that I was doing in building my business and how I was showing up to serve. And in that reconnection call, said to me, I've been aware of what you've been doing and I've been through some heavy stuff. Can you teach me your ways? And my response was, no, I can't, but I can help you find yours.
Yeah.
And that was the difference.
Yeah, and I just want to say too, maybe you do have the answers. Maybe you're a 60-year-old who has literally done it all and you have the answers. When we think about coaching, though, we try to think about what's going to stick. And when we give somebody else the perspective, when we give somebody else your answer because you do know it all and you've done it all, pretend, it may not stick as closely as it would if you helped them to find their own answer. And even through science, there's been studies that show these aha moments are because the client wasn't told the answer, but because they found the answer through their own exploration. So I just wanted to take that one step further to say maybe there are people out there that do know it all and have done everything. It's still going to be limiting to the client. And I'll end with lastly, just saying from what you've just said, it sounds like, we want to celebrate their discovery. So another way that it looks different is celebrating their discovery. They are a whole person in front of you. They don't need fixing. They just need partnering to help them uncover what they know to be right for them and know to be true for them.
Yeah, our service to them is to ultimately be obsolete in their life. If our job is to help them reconnect to their power and autonomy, they're not going to need us forever. And for those coaches who call themselves coaches, I'm making a big distinction there, who are driven by advice, rescuing, being center stage, making it about them, and being the hero, they're actually not providing that service because they are creating a dependency on the client that you're coming to me for answers. And
Yes.
that's not what this field is about.
Yeah, we don't want necessarily the client to learn from us because then they lean on us and it doesn't help them become resourceful. And that is a very difference in therapy and coaching. Therapy can be ongoing for many, many years and for its good reasons. But coaching, that isn't necessarily the concept. Hey, we're going to work together for the next 15 years. It's to help that client become resourceful for themselves so that they can move on to their next big, amazing life or goal. And on that note, if you are ready to shift from fixer to true coaching partner, that's exactly what we teach inside our flagship program, From Mystery to Mastery. You'll find the link below to learn more and join us.
The full 16 hours of continuing education, 16 credit units.
Yeah,
All right. I
I
think
think
we
that's
have solved the hero complex today.
stay
I'm
tuned
going
for go ahead.
I'm going to go resume my mild mannered identity.
Yeah, let's give them a sneak peek of what's to come next week.
And in the next video, we're exposing another sneaky habit, the session tourist. Ever feel like you're just wandering around in a coaching session with no map? You don't want to miss this one.
See you there.